Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm just going to go ahead and share with you an Excel spreadsheet that I have that I call All-in-One Pick 3 Lottery System, which we had this one on file for a while. I just haven't done any training in a while, so I'll go ahead and put a training together for you guys today. And pretty much this one is a simple one, but this one is a cool one, though. This one is a really useful tool because I mean, if you like to play the pick three, this one has three rundown systems. There's a 1-1-1 rundown, there's a 1-2-3 rundown, and then there's a 3-1-7 rundown. All right, so and these are old numbers, so I haven't updated the sheet, but this is the system that I have, and this one comes with a lot of different things. So the first page I have here, there's roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages on this one. But this one is a cool one because if you really track your stuff, this is what it's for. Because sometimes we have a spreadsheet that we don't track stuff. Sometimes we have a spreadsheet that we might track stuff. Sometimes people don't like to track, but it's best to track your numbers and everything else and just make sure everything else is in order for you. So we're going to go ahead and look at this. So this one has a yearly tracker for you. So anytime a number comes up, you can always highlight it. So okay, the 538 came up, 728 came up, or whatever. So that's what it's for. So that way you can know which number is already played. And then the first box, that's the first box here. And then you can also, sometimes I've seen people play this. So if you track your numbers, and let's say if you're playing it every single month, this is a monthly chart that you can use. I mean, I know this one is a yearly one, but this is if you want to track your yearly trackers with your front pairs, every day a number comes up. So let's look at this lottery sheet that we have here. So let's look at this, and we're in August right now. So if it was August, what I would have done is track all the numbers here. So 205, 832. So I will highlight everything else here. And then from there, I would also track your front pairs. So if it was 205, then what I would do is go to 20. I will highlight that and then 05. So I will highlight that as well because this is the front pairs and the back pairs. So that's the one that already showed up here. So that's the way I would track it. So that way when the pairs are playing, you know which one has played already. So that's the way the front and back pairs are set up for. And then these are all the single tracking as well. So any of these numbers, these are all set up into single digits. So any single digits that you have, there's 12 categories, and each of these is six. There's six combinations in each. So if you think about it, let's go ahead and switch this over real quick. So let's say if you play 037, now 037 is going to be it's going to come out three different ways or six different ways. 730, 073. Then there's going to be 307, then 703, and then 370. See, so it could have been six different combinations. So this whole top numbers is all the thousand numbers. Okay, so not the whole thousand, but if you do a calculation, I mean, that's really the way the whole thing works on this one. It's just really understanding what you have. Okay. And then next down below that is tracking your doubles. So this whole thing right here equals to 1,000 numbers. Starts the only exclude is the 000. So so everything else down here is all doubles, right? So this is singles, these are doubles. Oh, I'm sorry, 000 is right here. And then that's including the triples as well. So that narrows it down for you. So the whole categories is here. Like the number six here is all triples, right? And then these are all double numbers. Any number that you can think of. So it's literally combining this whole 1,000 numbers into 22 categories. Category one, two, three. So if there's a number that played, let's say 638 has played, then 638 would go in which category? 638. So if you look up at 638 is right here. So it's really 683. But again, if you do the six combination, 638 will come up in eight is going to come up in six different ways, right? 638,836, and then it's going to come out as 683, then it's going to come back again as 683, or no, 38, and it's going to come up as 368, and it's going to be 863, and then 386, right? So six different ways, because this is a whole thing. But if you look at doubles, doubles only come up as what? Three different ways. So if you look at 044 would come up as 440 and then 404. Those are the three combinations, right? So that's the way that would play. But that's the doubles. Then triple is just one time. And then down here, this is for the month as well. Some people don't do this, but sometimes people play it this way as well. Is they so let's say when a number comes up. So let's say 752 played, so you would definitely mark as 1, and then 75 is 1 and 2. So it's really like understanding which number is played for the month. So then that way you can keep track of it as well. So that's really just, I mean, it's just tracking numbers, because sometimes tracking numbers is always useful. And then sometimes people like to play the rundowns. Everybody has a rundown that they like to play, so that's what it's for. This is a cool system here. So if you put in the number here, so let's say we put in the number on the 27th, 929, then you just go here and then hit this button. Automatic changes for you, right? Same thing over here. If I put 653, enter the number there, automatic updates for you. Because this is a 111 rundown. 910, 9012 all the way down. Right? It repeats at the bottom. Same thing with this one. Rundown. One, these are all twos, and these are all threes. Then this is the 317 rundown. So if I put 406 here, it'll update. So if I put 301, update. See, it changes again for you. So whatever that you're playing, you can always choose a number here. So let's say your winning number that you chose would be 4. I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and choose some numbers here. So let's do this real quick. Make it all bold and center everything here. So let's say we chose 484. So we chose 448. Right? So now you got to mirror this. So this is mirror winning numbers, flip mirror numbers, right? So then if you want to choose the mirror numbers, it's going to be 993. And on the flip side, it's going to be 7, 7, and then 8 is 1. So that's way how you would play this. Right? So now you have three different sets of numbers. Right? So that's what it's for. So that's the sheet here, and then these are all root numbers. So each of these numbers here, this whole list of numbers that I share with you, is minimized down into root numbers. Root numbers meaning, like, let's say if I put 136, so this whole thing right here, right, 136 came up into 2, 4, 6 different ways. So all you gotta do is average it. If you average the number, it's 370. So now it's in the 370 category, right? So, I mean, that's the way I set this up, is to match the categories itself. So if it was all 001, so if I would choose 001 and I average this, it's 100, right? So it's 001, but it still lands back into 037 average number, right? So that's the way that this is set up, is to really help you understand. Like sometimes people would think about root sum. Like for me, I like roots, root numbers, just because if you think about it, let's say for an example, let's say I'm playing the 559, and 559, I will put it in the 1 2 3 rundown, or so I will put it there. So then now you can choose 559, and the root sum itself is 703, right? So 7559 is the root sum of 703. So I will sometimes 703. Let's see if this works. See, 703 is here, and let's try this one. 703. This is 59. 559. So it's right in the middle here. But yeah, I mean, it's just really, I mean, how you play your games. I mean, that's what it's for. Most people would use 317 rundown. So if we would have played, so if we would play one of the numbers here. So let's see, the way I would play this would be, let's choose a winning number that came up before. So let's try 205. So 205 would be a hit of 7, right? So this will come under the root sum of 7. So if I go to root sum of 7, 205 is right here. See, 205 is here. So what I would do is I'll take that 205 and put it into the 317 rundown. And the next day's number was 832. So now I would choose the date, which the date on here is the second, right? 205. The date of next day is the second. So what I would do is I'll go here and I would choose the second right there, right? So let's just do this. So the date 998 is what I'll put down. So the date goes down here. I don't know why, but I'm always addicted to this part where I put it down here. So the next day's number was 832. So if you look at this chart, 238 is attached to this 2. All right. So that's how this would have been played. So if it was 2, this number here is always going to be attached to the winning numbers here. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it always does that. So if I was, let's say, play again 205 in the 1 2 3 rundown, I would go down to the 2, right? And let's see if this one played out. Let's see. So let's go put this up here. So I will put 946 here. Here's the 2 again. So the next day's number is 823. See, it's attached to the 823 again. 823. 832 was the number. And then if I go to the 111 rundown, I'm not a big fan of the 111 rundown, but I mean, everybody has their ways. So let's try that. 205. And I go down to the 2. It's the same thing. So if I would bring the 2 down, so it'll be 750. All right. Now we'll highlight the 2 again. Now again, there it is. 823. It's all attached to the 2. 832 goes across straight here too, under around the 2. If I chose a 2 here, this one is not attached to the 2. So but that's the way I will play it. Well, sometimes people would play it as a hit number, right? So the hit would have been a 7, which is also the root sum of 7. If I would have played it down here under the 111 rundown, it still would have been around 832, around the 7. Here, 7, nope, nothing. There's no 3 2 attached to the 7. But if you go down here, same thing. No root sum attached. No numbers attached to the 832 number against the 7. Maybe 7 here. There's only 2 numbers attached to that. So I don't really play the hits. I'm not a big fan of it, but everybody has their ways of playing it. So but that's the way this chart will be used. And each of these numbers has its own root sum, so all your 1,000 numbers is summarized into root sums for you. So that way you don't miss a number. So if this number already came up, maybe this is a good way to track it too, is if which number has played, just mark it off the root sum and just play it that way. But that's how this sheet is designed here for you guys. So if you guys have any questions about this, just reach out, put it in the comments below. If you guys want this, purchase this sheet here, you can go to the link in the description as well and take advantage of the offer that we have here for you. And a lot of these come with videos, trainings, and stuff like that. So I always try to add more stuff to it. And sometimes new videos come up all the time. So just keep a lookout for those. And have yourself a wonderful afternoon, a good night, or a good morning if you're watching this in the morning. Other than that, you take care of yourself. Be safe. And subscribe to my channel, please.